Alright guys, I wanted to make a new video. If you haven't seen my last video, I had created a PowerShell script that it would start beeping, the computer would start beeping at you if an Xbox Series X or PlayStation or whatever else is that you were trying to get from Target was out of stock and became in stock. It would beep at you and you'd be able to run to the computer really fast and be able to purchase whatever it is that you were trying to purchase. Um, I've expounded on that since then. So now, instead of just the beeping, now I've been able to get PowerShell to send me an email. And I kind of want to explain how I was able to do that. Um, I did the Xbox Series X last time, so I thought I would do the PS5 this time. And I'll just pull up the script just to kind of go over what I had did before. So what we're doing is we're saying we're running a while loop. So we say while true, this should always be true. Or doing an invoke web request, and we are trying to request this information from this URI or URL. Trying to get the information from here, and I'm going to show you how I got this URI URL right here. So if I go to the Target website, I pull up whatever it is that I'm looking for. In this instance, this is the PlayStation 5. So I'm using Google Chrome. So I go to the PS5 website, and then I right click. Then I will click Inspect, and then I'll go up here to this tab called Network, and then XHR, and then I'll come over here and refresh. And for Target, what I'm looking for is something called fulfillment here, and I will click on fulfillment, and then I will right click over here on the white space, hit expand recursively. And what you're looking for is you're looking for this string that says availability status out of stock. Each retailer, they use some different language. Best Buy uses sold out, Target uses out of stock. So if you're doing this, you want to figure out what each retailer is what language they're using different if you want to try this somewhere else. But for Target, it's out of stock. So what you want to do is you want to come back over to this fulfillment, and you want to right click and click open in a new tab. And you can see it has all the same information here: availability status, out of stock. So you want to come up here to the URI URL, highlight the whole thing, right click, and then copy. Alright, so we want to go back to the script, and we're going to paste this in here. I want to erase this because I want to show you guys something about how it's important that you use single quotes around this URI, because they include these ampersands, and PowerShell doesn't really like the ampersands. I think it uses it as an alias for something else. But so you want PowerShell to look at it as it's a string, so you have to use single quotes. Double quotes, I don't believe, work here. I think it'll still look for those aliases if you use double quotes. So use single quotes because the single quotes works. All right, and in that invoke web request, we have the URI, and then we also want to use a parameter called method, and we want to use the get method to be able to get information from this URI. So what we're doing is we're saying, and we're storing this in a variable called target, and we're saying if target content, and I'm going to run that just so if it was in stock it would start beeping, right? But it's not in stock, so nothing's happening. But I ran that because I wanted to show you. If I run target.content, which is what this is right here, if target.content, and I hit enter, it shows you the availability status, out of stock here. It has all that same information. So what you're doing is, now it's in a string, and you can you know it's in a string, because if you do call target.content again, and we do a get type, right, we'll close those parentheses, we can see that it's in a string, right? So we want to match in the string in stock and see if there's a in stock anywhere in that string. And right now, in stock is not in that string, it says out of stock. So nothing's going to happen. But when it becomes in stock, what we're doing is we're telling the system console to start beeping. And the first number here would be the pitch. The lower the number, the lower the pitch, the higher the number. The higher the pitch, the second number would be for how many seconds, and it's in milliseconds, so 1,000 would be 1 second. And we say sleep for 2 seconds, just so it would turn the beeping off, and then run through this again. If it's in stock, it'll beep, and then it'll wait 2 seconds, and it'll beep again, and it'll beep again, and it'll just keep beeping while it's in stock to let you know, hey, go buy it. But that's good if you are near your computer, but if you're out somewhere else and it becomes in stock, you have no way of knowing because you're not around your computer. So what I did is I created a way to have PowerShell send you an email. And one thing that's really important is this. I did it for Gmail. I have a Gmail account, so this is important for the Google accounts. What you want to do is you want to go to myaccount.google.com. I'm just going to bring it up. So it says myaccount.google.com/less secure apps. Click on that. We're already logged into our Gmail. So what you want to do is you want to have this option toggled on to allow less secure apps to be able to send email. This is some type of security thing that Google has set in place. So if you turn this off, the PowerShell script won't work. So this has to be on. So make sure that's on before running the script. Alright, so what we're doing with the email one is we're essentially kind of doing the same thing. We're saying while true, should always be true, should always run. We're doing the same invoke web request. And we're putting a URI in there the same way for the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, whichever one you want to do. Whoops. And then you're going to use the same parameter method, the get method. Now we're saying, we're storing that in a variable called target int. And we're saying if target int content, which this is a string, match in stock. What I want to do now is instead of beeping, I want to send an email. So I've created some variables here. One's called email from, and that's equal to, and then you would just put your email address in there. And then I have one email to equals, and then you would probably just put your email address in there if you're going to be emailing yourself and want to be notified. But you can also add multiple recipients. You just put a comma, space, and then another email address, and you can send it to multiple people. There's another variable called subject, and then that would just be the subject line. So whatever's going to get your attention for the subject. And then in the body, for the body, what I would suggest you do is that when you go to the PlayStation's Target's website where the PlayStation's at, I would highlight this and copy that, and I would put that into the body. That way when you get sent the email, you'll have the link in the email. You can just open up the email, click on the link, and then you can buy it really fast before somebody else gets it. And then I have another variable here called SMTP server. This is Gmail's SMTP server, so smtp.gmail.com. And then I create another variable called SMTP client, which is a new object. It's net.mail.smtp client, and then you want to insert the SMTP server, which is the gmail.com. And then Gmail wants you to use port 587 for the TLS. It's important that you use that port. And then you want to enable SSL. That's a Google requirement. They want you to enable SSL. So you have to enable SSL and equal it to true. and then you would use smtp client.credentials, create a new object, system.net.network credential, and then you would put in your username. Over here, you don't have to add the @gmail.com, just the username, and then you put your password here. And then you have smtp client.send, so then you just put in all your variables, and it will send an email to your email address or whoever it is that you want to send an email to, and they'll get an email with the subject and the link, that's what I would suggest anyways. And then it will sleep. And then this is super important, is the break. If you don't have the break in there and it becomes in stock, your inbox is going to get flooded with emails. You're going to get like thousands of emails. So if you don't have the break on here, get ready for your inbox to just be completely full. So that's important. So you just the reason that's there is just run one time, you get one email, and then it stops running. The script stops running. You've got the email now, and you won't get 1,000 emails. So can't stress that enough. And then that's it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And good luck with this one. Have fun with it if you want to try it.